Hey y'all, we're back and we're going to be talking about the Lakers and the Thunder and Westbrook and all those trades that have been going down and rumors. So the Lakers, do you want to give us a recap on what's happened in their offseason and what they've been doing specifically post AD and Kawhi trades? And
so Kawhi just chose to go to the Clippers and Paul George went with them. So the Lakers got kind of left to waiting. They wanted to wait to see if they could get Kawhi because they really thought they had a chance. So they waited it out. They didn't get him, and that means they kind of lost out on some big, not big free agents, but bigger free agents than they got. I think they still had a pretty good offseason. They did okay. They got Danny Green from Toronto. They signed KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, back. They got JaVale McGee back. They added Quinn Cook from the Warriors. They re-signed Alex Caruso, who was good for him late last year. They re-signed Rajon Rondo. They got Jared Dudley, who's a good shooter. And they also got DeMarcus Cousins, and that's a pretty interesting one to me, how they fit. It's a reunion between DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis, who played in New Orleans together. That's an interesting move. So they did get some guys. They didn't strike out completely. I think that the Clippers still have the advantage, but I think the Lakers did what they could. And I think it's really hard because Kawhi kind of put them in a position where they really thought they could get him, and then they could have got some bigger name guys. They could have even possibly got a Kyrie Irving or Jimmy Butler early on in free agency if they kind of just passed over Kawhi, but they really thought they could get him. So from what they had, they got pretty much all you could want from the situation they had.
The DeMarcus Cousins signing, in my opinion, is fantastic. And I don't think anyone's talking about this, but it's an AD and Cousins reunion.
Yeah.
And they played really well whenever they were together. So I know Cousins isn't going to be up to that level again, most likely. But still, they already have some chemistry. They already know how each other play. Great signing. Sort of, in my opinion, they got a steal. And they took him away from the Warriors, which is pretty.
Him and Quinn Cook also, who was on the Warriors.
Good depth player.
Yeah.
I, as someone who's sort of not liked what the Lakers have done, all these signings and the DeMarcus Cousins specifically have really made me have a positive outlook on them. So, do you have any more comments on that?
Yeah, one thing, they did get DeMarcus Cousins for a steal. He signed a minimum deal with them, which is kind of interesting why he would. I mean, the market was pretty dry according to multiple reports that nobody really wanted him. So to get him for a minimum deal was a steal, I think. How good is he going to be? It's hard to say. It really is hard to say right now. I don't really know how good he's going to be. I mean, he's coming off 2 back-to-back major injuries. He looked okay once he got back from injury last year, but not great. So I think when you hear the name DeMarcus Cousins paired with Anthony Davis and LeBron, you think that's going to be the 3-headed monster. I kind of think it's going to be a 2.5-headed monster. I think DeMarcus Cousins is going to be kind of a shell of himself. The name sounds really good when you say those three together, but I think people are overhyping it a little. So.
And now the Thunder in Westbrook, pretty much just a basic recap. The Thunder traded away Paul George for, I believe, 5 first rounds and swapped 2 other picks. The Thunder have now just decided to go complete rebuild mode and pretty much given up their chance for this season and next season. What's interesting, though, is Westbrook. There's rumors of him being traded. And, I forgot to mention this. The Raptors almost traded, who was it?
Pascal Siakam. They were offering Pascal Siakam and a center. It wasn't just him. It was him, and they didn't really mention other pieces, but they had a couple other pieces in mind. But him being a centerpiece of the trade for Paul George and Russell Westbrook. So it's kind of just a whole team swap after the star players of the team just swapping. Which to me, I'll just go ahead and I don't know if that would be super smart by the Raptors. I think even without Kawhi, you still have a really good team. Like, there were games where Kawhi wasn't really amazing in the finals last year. I mean, he was great, but there were points in that game in that series, where other players led the charge. So I think, yeah, they're not a contender anymore, and their odds, I don't even know. We'll talk about it in a later video, but they're not good.
They're 80-1.
80-1. So they're not good. I still think they could be decent. I think they could be a top 4 or 5 seed in the East, which is a lot lower than a lot of Raptors fans like, but they're still okay. And I just think it would mess it up if you put Russell Westbrook and Paul George. Russell Westbrook and Paul George, going back to the Thunder, they really just can't do it. They've been proven to me that they can't do it anymore. They've been eliminated in the first round of the playoffs the last 2 years with those two, and before that it goes back two more years with Russell Westbrook and other players. So I think moving to another team isn't going to do anything. You have some role players on the Raptors that you wouldn't on the Thunder, but I still don't think it does anything. So Nick, tell me what you think about the Russell Westbrook rumors now.
I was a little shocked by the trade of Paul George and how much they traded, but now that I'm looking at it, they got picks for a while, and like till 2026, which is insane because it's 2019. So pretty much a 17-year or 11-year-old could be drafted because of this trade. Like,
Yeah.
if you're thinking about it like that, in 7 years, this trade still has an effect.
And this is the Paul George trade. We'll talk about Russell Westbrook in a second. We forgot.
So the Russell Westbrook is just, if they can ship him off for probably 3 or 4 more first-round picks, they're going to have about 10 first-round picks, which is insane. That's a crazy amount. But a first-round pick, many people think it's a star or something like that. It's all potential.
Yeah.
It's
And
100%
they
potential.
probably won't keep all of them. I'm assuming they would try to put those picks into trades for other players that are younger. If that happened, I doubt they would keep every pick. That'd be a lot of rookies, and you don't have any veterans anymore after that. So you still need some veteran guys and some players who are proven in the NBA. Yeah. So
I mean, where do you think do you think he's going to be traded in the first place?
I do think he'll be traded this summer. I mean,
Where?
I am thinking,
Or where's the best place for
I
him?
think the best place would either be Miami, or I'm even thinking the Knicks. For one, the Knicks, they've totally got they don't have anybody that they wanted. They wanted KD, Jimmy Butler, Kyrie. They missed out on everybody. So to get Westbrook, I think New York would at least be somewhat happy to have a star to go watch when they go to games. Because right now they're going to have Julius Randle and Kevin Knox, Dennis Smith Jr., those guys to go and watch. Good players, but not stars or anything. So I think Russell Westbrook going to New York, I think, would bring an element of happiness to New York. And I think it would kind of be Russell Westbrook's team to just go and throw off to Julius Randle and kind of have fun. I don't know that it would make them better, but not a ton better. But I think so that would be just a destination to go if you want to be the star and try it in a different place. Miami, though, would be probably a better fit because you have Jimmy Butler there and you have 2 stars on a team that I'm just not a big Russell Westbrook fan and believer, so I don't think really anywhere he goes he's going to have success, but I think Miami would be the best fit because you already have a star in Jimmy Butler.
I think sort of the final point for this, I like Russell Westbrook to the Knicks. Now, Russell Westbrook he's going to give you jersey sales, and he's going to get people to attend your games. I don't believe he's going to get you a championship. He's not going to get it for you on the Knicks. But, RJ Barrett is used to being that secondary player behind Zion. And Russell Westbrook plays that very physical, athletic, I'm going to out-athlete you game sort of style. Similar, not exactly the same to Zion. We were talking about this earlier. But I think Russell Westbrook and RJ Barrett would actually be a pretty good duo. And I think the time that Russell Westbrook is still going to be relevant and still playing in an elite level. I mean, he still plays at an elite level. I don't think anyone can deny that. RJ Barrett's going to be able to develop into a player instead of being pretty much the number one or having the spotlight on him. I think Russell Westbrook can help RJ Barrett develop.
Yeah, I think
indirectly.
I think it would help him.
It wouldn't be a direct
Yeah.
They're gonna mimic each other's game styles, but I think it's gonna help relieve
It's just
pressure.
kind of another Russell Westbrook has a shooter finally, because I don't think he's had a shooter other than Paul George in a while. So to have a guy like RJ Barrett, I think it would help. I just don't think Russell Westbrook would get anywhere with the Knicks. I just don't think they have enough. Miami, at least they have some guys that can play still. So I think that he would be the best fit.